Welcome to another episode of Absolute Match Fishing. My name's Matt Godfrey and today you join me at the beautiful Packington Summers Fishery near Coventry. With me I've got two superstar anglers. First up is Mr. Tommy Pickering. He's an ex-world champion and he now manages the England feeder team. However, he's fishing against the mighty Andy Finlay, another exceptional running line talent, and today they'll both be giving away some secret tactics that will help you catch more fish. Well, here we are with the boys. Nice to see you both. Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
Morning, Paul. You all right, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it, always am.
Bit nervous, yeah.
Ooh. Well, it's time for the all-important draw, and somehow I've managed to winkle a 50p piece out of Tommy Pickering's pocket. But I'm sure he'll be asking for it back after the flip.
Not true. He'll be on best peg anyway, so it's not. I don't know why we're bothering, really.
Well, we've got to have the draw. So, what we having, boys? Is it heads or tails?
Tails. It's always tails. My dad always says tails.
Never fails.
Correct.
So here goes. And tails it is.
Told you.
Always
Told
is.
you.
Mr. Pickering, you've got the choice of
Peg
pegs.
30.
Right.
Because
right.
I know he wants it.
Well,
That's
there
right.
we go.
I've
And I
told
don't
him
want
it's
him to
by
have it.
far the best peg,
He's-
so he's gone for it.
Local expert, you see. So I pinched his peg.
Well, the banter's started already, and I'm going to come along, find out a few of your little tricks of the trade, and hopefully we'll catch plenty of fish on the way. Let's go and get set up.
That'll do for me. Come on.
The clock's ticking, I make it just about time to start. All in!
I've learnt more about method feeder fishing off Andy Finlay than anything. He taught me how to put the bait on the feeder correctly and how to do it. He's, for me, he's one of the top commercial blokes in country, especially method feeder fishing. I was struggling with it and he showed me how to put it on the method, and when he showed me, I just changed my hook length styles a little bit to what he was doing, and it changed my way of fishing really a lot, so I owe him a lot really. And he knows that because I tell him so. I owe Andy a lot.
What can be said, he's just about won everything there is to win, really. Although I know the venue better than Tommy, beating him's still going to be a really big achievement for me.
Sometimes when you don't know water, you do things differently to the local people, and sometimes you can come down to a new venue, just do your own thing, and it's better because people that are on a venue all the time, they get a little bit tuned to the set ways. So that's my only chance really, is the fact is I don't know the water and I'll come and do what I think is best, and sometimes that's the best thing to do. So it's just, hopefully it works for me.
I think I've drawn the lesser of the two pegs, to be honest. But as I say, I know the venue, and I'm hoping the line I'm feeding now is going to come good for me later in the match. There's a lot of big carp in this place.
Well, I'm here with Tommy, and he's just got off to a nice start with a run of skimmers, haven't you, mate?
It's all skimmers at the moment. I think it's probably because I've got micros in method, to be honest with you. But one of them a chuckle do, rest of the day I'll be quite happy with that. But I'm hoping for a few carp but a nice start anyway.
Yeah, good. Well, Andy's just hooked another carp now, but
Yeah, he will do.
I reckon it's pretty close at the minute. Well, you got 5 or 6 of them skimmers?
Yeah, 5 or 6, and he's got a couple of carp, so he'll be just in front of me. But it's close, early days though.
Very
Plenty of time,
nice.
Yeah.
And I see that you're fishing your renowned method feeder.
Yeah, it's a medium method feeder because I think I'm going to catch some bigger carp later on. So when I'm carp fishing, I like the medium feeder with a 16 hook, and when I'm fishing for F1s and that, I like the smaller one with an 18 hook. So I balance everything with the size of the hook that I'm using.
So you're fishing a bigger feeder, it holds
Yeah.
a little bit more bait, and hopefully you can
Yeah.
build your swim up and catch a few carp later.
That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to work out at the moment whether it's pellets or whether it's ground bait, but the fish will dictate that later on in the day.
Right.
So,
And that's quite an important part of method feeder fishing, isn't it?
well, it's
Tommy?
one of the questions I get asked a lot. Is it ground bait or is it pellets? I don't know that. You can't answer that. It's the fish will tell you. You've got to try both on the day. Some days it's pellets, some days it's ground bait, and you never know which day. The only 100% thing is if the anglers around you catching on paste, you'll have to put ground bait on the feeder.
Right.
But that's the usual thing. But it's trial and error really, and that's all that it is. Nothing more than that.
And so far, pellets is best for you?
Well, at the moment, yeah, but I'll be trying ground bait, I'm sure. And all I do, I put a few pellets in first, and put that on top. Fill it with pellets, or overfill it. Method feeder on top. Press, release at the bottom, and it comes out in one swoop like that. And I like to have the pellet buried in the middle, whereas a lot of anglers like it on the top. But I believe when it's on the top, it hits the water and it comes off.
Right, okay.
And I'm trying to make sure it never comes off, because I want the feeder to go to the bottom in one piece. And I feel like if the pellet's in the middle, it won't get knocked off when the impact of the water.
Lovely stuff. So you've got a nice tight little ball of bait there, and your pellet's right in the middle. It'll break down, fish will come along, suck the lot up, hopefully your bait as well, and there you go.
It's perfect and simple as that. That's all that it is.
Let's chuck him in. I want to see you catch another one now.
Right. All you do, face your target, arm behind you, cast, hit the clip, and it's side island. Make sure it hits the bottom and never move the feeder.
You've got to leave it in the exact spot it lands.
You never move the feeder. And then all I do then, I just try and keep the line tight. To make the line sink, all I do, I just ease the line between the reel and the first eye, and just take my time. And if you get a fish at this position, you'll feel it on your fingers. You'll feel it go like that, and you just pick the rod up.
A little bit of hand lining then, Tommy.
Just a little bit. Hopefully, and if you get them like that, you know you're on for a good weight, because it means two things: you're catching a lot of fish, and that the fish instantly come into the feeder, and that's what you want. Once it hits the bottom, if you get them very quickly, you know that they want the bait, and you're on the right bait, and it goes straight round.
Now then, Mr. Finley, how are we getting on?
Well, quite a slow start really. I started on the long range method to a floating island over to my left, and as I expected, I caught a couple of carp straight away, but they're a bit on the small side.
Bit on the small side, you could hardly fit one of them in your landing net.
Nah, they're only small. We've had one about £3 at the most. But in between them, we're getting a few skimmers, but I'm not really keeping up with Tommy. He's definitely took the early lead. So I've had half hour on that, and I've been feeding me 8mm pellets on the 25-yard line, and I've seen a few fish move where they're landing.
Right.
There's one there.
One just swirled there, right on top.
Yeah, they're a bit shallow for now. It's really warm today, and the fish are up, but my experience on here is later in the day they will go down. I'm getting a few liners on this, and first chuck on it I've had a carp about £4 I'd say it was, but since then not a lot's happened.
So you've started your match fishing a method feeder, and then already you've changed and you're now fishing a little bit closer where you're loose feeding. And
that's right, it's just the fact that I've seen fish on these pellets that I thought I'd have an early look. Sure enough I've had a fish, but you know, I've gone on it too early to be right, but it could whip round any minute. But I'm looking soon, if it doesn't improve soon, I'll be back on my long range method. Also, I'm feeding a pole line with my 6mm pellets on the 13-metre line, again to try that later in the match.
I can hear your reel screeching a little bit then, Andy, when that one took off.
Yeah, it just flew round out of the blue like it often happens on this method. It was doing my head in a bit before I got the bite, because I'm getting these little twitches and I can see fish on the surface. The lake's only 3 foot deep where I'm fishing, but it's just not going round. The fish are definitely there.
They're clever, aren't they? They're crafty.
Yeah, I think it's partly because of that, and it's just a bit too early in the day. I'm trying to rush it on this line.
Oh, you come off.
Come on, yeah.
Never mind. We'll get another one.
Yeah, actually, looking at that, I think there was just a bit of slime on the hook, which normally indicates that it possibly foul hooked or somewhere near the mouth.
Before we do go back out, we'll take this opportunity to have a look at your rig if you don't mind.
Yeah,
mate.
no problem at all.
Do you want to talk me through it?
It's just a basic rig really. It's £5 line from the reel down to a snap link swivel, which is tied on with a Palomar knot, and onto that, before I clip my bomb on, I clip the hook length on first. If you can see that, I say it's clipped on, but in fact it's actually lassoed on, and what that does, it makes the rig stronger. Rather than just clip the loop on, it's just one bit of line going around the snap link swivel. But doing like that, it's like a double line going around it, so it makes it twice as strong in effect.
You cannot get much simpler than that, and you
No.
look like you've got quite a long hook length there.
It's just about a 2 foot hook length, that is, 2.5 foot, and onto that I've got a PR36, it's just a 16 hook, and it's actually lassoed on, the 8mm pellet's lassoed on. I just lost that fish there. The pellet's been out a while, it's gone a bit soft, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I believe because you feed him regular, it's hard pellets that are going in, and the fish are eating hard pellets. So for that reason, I'm going to take that off. And the way I do that, it might look a bit fiddly this, but it isn't once you get used to it.
Yeah.
I just get a quick stop needle with quite a sharp point on it and stick it in the pellet and just pull it open like that. Because it's a lasso, it will just open up, discard the pellet and pick a new one out your tub.
And then you've got a nice fresh hard hook.
That's
bait,
right,
same
you know,
as the ones.
that are going in. You can see that's a lot bigger because the longer you leave the hair, the bigger the loop is, so it's very easy to get the pellet in there. It's not like messing about with bands. Some people find them really fiddly, me included, and that just pulls down onto the pellet like so.
Lovely stuff.
And
Well,
that's ready to chuck out.
get him chucked back out and catch us.
Try and
catch
not
us
lose
another
it
one.
this time.
Well, I've just had a bit of a nightmare really. I've just lost one up the outside and then one come off in net and then just chucked out and got this, so there's a few fish moving in, which is nice to see. Got a 6-pounder. So they're coming to bait now and I can actually see them again, that little island now. They're actually topping around the island. So when my feeder's going in, I can see them on my feeder, which is brilliant news.
We're well into the match now and things are looking really close between our two anglers. Tommy's got off to a great start, catching some skimmers and 2 or 3 big carp on the method. Finn didn't get off so well, but he started to catch some really big fish, fishing with bomb and pellet now. So I wouldn't want to call who's winning. I'd say they've both got around the 40-pound mark, but they've got a change of tactics in mind and it can all change yet. Exciting stuff. So you've had a slight change of tactics there, Andy. You've picked the pole up.
Yeah, well, I've been feeding it from the off, and it, you've got to try it. It's no good feeding it all match and then not even bothering to go on it. Not only that, the bomb and pellet line went a bit slow, which it can always go round any time. But
Yeah.
the fact of feeding this, and we've got a nice wind blowing in now, so I'm sure there'll be a few fish on the pole, but as yet I've been on it 5-10 minutes and I've just had one bite, which was a skimmer come flying out the water as they normally do, but it come off at the same time.
It's strange on commercials, isn't it? How you hook some skimmers and they just jump out.
Yeah, well, Packington really is noted for that. I don't know if it's because it's a shallow lake we're fishing, they can come straight up.
I'd love to know why they do it. I've seen it
Yeah.
on loads of places. I'm sure everybody else has as well.
It's the occasional carp does it, but it's skimmers on the whole, just a bit of an indication there. There's fish there, but if I don't catch within, another 5 or 10 minutes,
Or a bite, I think,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I'm going to have to get back on that bomb and pellet because it was just starting, it did start to happen, but I went half hour without a bite in the later stages, so to keep with Tommy, I think we're just about level. I've clawed back to being about level now.
Hello, Captain.
Hey, mate, all right.
Not bad. Are you, you've picked a waggler up there, haven't you, Tommy?
Yeah, well, Andy's catching a straight bomb, and I thought it's just in front of me now, so I thought I need to have a look at this loose feed line, and sometimes it's better not waggler, to be honest with you. So it's nice, but wind's got up. It's just spoilt it a bit now, and
As soon as you've picked that up, it's
I know, about right, isn't it?
started blowing across you.
It's blowing across, and
Generally, you sometimes catch an odd fish where you've been loose feeding by chucking your waggler over it then, do you?
well, I do it for two reasons. I either chuck my method over it, but I entered a bite on it on method. So we Andy catching not straight bomb. Maybe they don't want the method; they want just a pellet on its own. So I set my waggler. It's a great way of catching fish, especially in this depth of water, because it's only shallow. It's only 2.5 foot deep, so it's perfect, really. But I entered an indication, which is not a good sign. But if they don't want the method, then they want a single bait.
And that's a nice way of presenting it, I suppose,
Yeah, it's perfect,
isn't it?
really. It's a great way, especially over your loose feed. It gives you a different option, really.
Tell you what, as well, you catch these carp nowadays, and sometimes they pull your elastic out or drag your rod in, but there's not much nicer feeling than when that float goes and you strike into a fish on a waggler, is
It's
it?
the best method in the world, waggler fishing, isn't it? I love it, and catch loads of fish on it, especially in this type of venue. It's quite coloured here as well, so.
Yeah.
But it ain't gone under yet. But like I said, wind's just got up, and I've probably picked a bad time to do it, to be fair.
Well, I've been and spent a bit of time with both anglers, and it's very close between them both now. There's sort of an hour of the session remaining. And probably the most interesting thing that I've noticed is that they've both set 2 or 3 different kinds of methods up, but they've resorted back to the one that was most productive in the first hour. Finn's caught some big fish fairly early on a bomb, and after trying the pole, he's back on the bomb now, and he's just caught another 2 or 3 really big carp. Tommy started off catching skimmers on a method. He's had a little try on a waggler. He's fired a few 8mm in open water, but it's not been the best for him today, and now he's back chucking against the island and catching well again. So if anything, it proves that you've really got to try and find that best method as quickly as possible.
Well, that's another 8-pounder he's had. I think I'm in a bit of trouble now. I've just had one 4-pound myself, but I think I'm about 15 pound behind now. So I'll need a good last half hour. But there's a few fish there now. But I think he's in front now.
Coming up to the finish of the match now, and I really don't know who's going to win. Obviously, the winner of this round gets himself an early draw in the final in a few weeks' time. So I make it round about time to finish them off now. All out!
Well done, mate.
Well done to you,
Oh,
Tommy.
well done, pal.
I've enjoyed it.
£12. You've done me by there, I reckon.
I don't think I
Yeah,
am.
you have, mate. Trust me. I don't mind being beat by you.
Good sport.
Come on, Mr. Pickering, first way.
First weight, little carps.
Little carp?
There's not many of these.
Wish my little carp were that little.
There you go, my old pal. 4, 7, 8, 9. That's it.
There we go.
So £20.
I'm going to give you a generous £32 dead.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well done, sir.
What about £15 of skimmers? That's all.
£15 a skimmer.
That's all I've got.
Well
How
done,
is
Tommy.
there?
That's a great net of skimmers, isn't it?
What swimming net
Well
here.
done, mate.
Wow, I'm gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked.
And I give you there, Mr. Pickering, £37 and 8 ounces.
Wow.
Well done, mate.
Woo! I'm gobsmacked at that. Look at them.
Too much for me.
And that gives you a total, Tommy, of £69 and 8 ounces.
That?
69.8.
Oh, that'd be second, that.
Well done, sir.
Cheers.
Well,
Go on, mate. Cheers, mate.
Well done.
time for yours now, Finn. It's struggling with this lot, Tommy.
It is.
Not
I mean,
enough float.
bring your little net out first. That's the way to do it. Always bring little net out just to...
You've got some ghosties in there.
Yeah, mate.
Lovely fish, yeah, all colours.
Look at them. Well done, mate. That's the winner.
Here we
Right,
go.
mixed colour bag, that, isn't it?
Yeah, great.
I'm not going to be strong enough to hold this.
I can hardly lift it on. Oh. I'll tell you what, there's more than you think there. I'm going to say £52.
Well done, mate.
Could be close, you haven't had as many skimmers as you, Tommy.
I know, but he's got enough. He don't need many, does he?
Oh.
Now remember, Matt, you're a Yorkshireman, so when you read this out, think Yorkshire. That's what you've got to do. Nice crucian. Think Yorkshire all the time, mate.
There you
Oh.
go, that's all.
I make that £34. I mean, £4 exactly. Not as many skimmers as.
No, that's where I
Mr.
felt.
He's not a
Pickering,
skimmer
but-
angler, is he, Andy?
Yeah.
So that gives Finn a total weight of £56, meaning Tommy,
Cheers,
you're the
mate.
champion
Thank
on the
you.
day. Well done,
Thank
sir.
you.
So why am I disappointed coming second to you, whether you fished here or not?
No,
Not
cheers,
at
mate. It's
all.
always a pleasure.
Well done.
I'm not going to jump about because I'm too much respect for the man, and I just enjoy fishing with him. I've learned loads of him at years, and it's just a pleasure. It's a good match between us, really.
There you go, folks. Another fantastic day on the bank with two of the best anglers in the country. Tommy Pickering's won on the day with £69 and 8 ounces, but Andy Finlay still had a very respectable £56. I've really enjoyed myself, and I'm sure these two have as well. We'll catch you next time on Absolute Match Fishing.